And now it's Deborah Kobylt Live and Italy podcast.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on our Little Italy podcast and Deborah Kobylt Live. And you know, in our Italian community, we like to say that family is everything. Family is community. And my next guest is absolutely the epitome of that. We welcome Vicky Colarossi Carabini. Vicky is the chair of the Italian Studies Council at Chapman University, also the regional vice president of NIAF, which is the National Italian American Foundation. She also just does so much within the community by hosting fundraisers, movie nights, evenings out where we could all sort of connect with one another. And I thought we could all learn a lot from Vicky Carabini about how to keep our entire community connected, particularly for this month of National Italian Heritage Month. So, Vicky, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me, Deborah, and happy Italian Heritage Month, the first day to celebrate all things Italian for the month of October.
I know. So here you are, our first guest for the month. So thank you.
I am honored. Thank you so much.
Let's talk a little bit about your involvement in the community. You're down in Orange County, I'm up in LA, but you managed to sort of coordinate and have events that everyone down in San Diego, they come up and enjoy. In Orange County, obviously, they enjoy. Here in Los Angeles and beyond in California. Talk to me about your role, first of all, with NIAF and also your role over at Chapman.
Well, let's just start with Chapman. And they say, and it really goes hand in hand with the National Italian American Foundation, is building a community that we can not only celebrate today, but we can pass down our traditions of the culture, our language to the next generation. And without doing that, really, it will die. I think that one of the reasons that the Italian culture is so strong is that we have such a great sense of pride for all that has been done before us and continues to do, everything from science and art and fashion and music and theater. I mean, there's just so much that the Italians have done to build our heritage and to be proud of. And, quite frankly, is a month enough to celebrate all things Italian?
No, we know that.
Yeah.
So how about 365 days a year and then start again? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So at Chapman, it really is one of the universities that's become world renowned because of how they have stepped out of the box of if you have a passion to learn a language and it happens to be the most beautiful one, Italian, but it conflicts with becoming an engineer, that school will help them build it around so that you can minor or major in whatever you want and also minor or major in Italian. And that was one of my big passions, was to communicate with students how beautiful of a language it is, number one, and how incredible of a culture it is. And it kind of has just evolved over the last, I've been involved with Chapman for over 12 years, and I have just seen the growth and the pride. And when I mention anywhere I am whether in Italy or here in California, that I'm involved with Chapman University, it's like, wow, that's incredible. They do so much. And it certainly did not hurt that Chapman's last two presidents have been Italian. So, and just FYI, the new president who will be inducted in a week, we found out is 25% Italian. So the role keeps going.
Yeah. And I'd like to say you had an event at your home not too long ago, and you did include folks who are world renowned in science, in art, in just about every discipline that you can think of. But you also had lots of young people there and students who were very excited to talk to those of us who have been, involved in Italian heritage, but they really want to continue. And they want to continue it by preserving our heritage, but also bringing along a little bit of what they think is important. That was terrific. Please speak to that if you would.
You know what? It was, this was the 6th year I've done it. We call it the Festa d'Autunno. And I invite people in the community that have made a difference in some way to their Italian heritage. But most important, and just like you, Deborah, what you have done professionally and bringing professionals into a smaller event where students they're just growing, they could have been a freshman or a sophomore, and they're, making decisions on what they want to be or where they're going, and everything is new, exciting. And then to have the opportunity to not be like embarrassed to walk up to somebody and ask them, you know what, how did you get into that? How did you get into broadcasting? How did you get into finance? I mean, my husband obviously was here also, and he has two students that that connected with him that day and have reached out since then to get more involved and to still talk about their Italian language and the culture. So I really feel very proud of what I've brought to the table. It was just an idea, and then to see it come to fruition six years in a row, I'm looking forward to the 7th.
Yeah, me too, actually. And on that day, I had a few students come up to me and ask me about broadcasting. My husband also, who was in the radio business. And, two of them in particular are very involved at the Newport Beach Film Festival, which is coming up. And they have an entire Italian spotlight going on. I believe it's October 21st. And they've been in touch with me to make sure that, I do a show on that and speak about it, which I'm doing today as well. And we're going to be airing that, later on in October. But they were very involved. And the fact that you do this and you bring in the entire community at all ages, it's very important to me, really shows to me that our Italian heritage will continue into the future. So thank you for doing that, Vicky. I appreciate it.
Oh, great. I'm glad you connected with those students, because the president of the Newport Beach Film Festival, he's a professor, and he's done that also, Deborah. He has taken his classes that he teaches at Cal State Fullerton and makes teams. And so I mentor Team Italy, and those students, they'll reach out to the Italian community. First of all, they need to sell tickets to that Italian movie, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
And they're learning along the way too. So it's really is a trickle down effect, and I'm glad you're supporting them.
Yeah, actually, since we're on the topic, why don't you talk to me a little bit about that film? I believe that people are they're going to sell tickets. They're going to sell out tickets for that film.
Well, it's a good point, because last year it did sell out. And the people that they get turned away, and it's so sad. You want to stand in the back or whatever, but it's another way to promote it. They do spotlights for many different other countries, but the Italian one seems to be a real nice sweet spot for many people, because the Italian comedies are hilarious, and they do come with English subtitles. I have not screened this particular one, but I do screen them for, I've done an Italian movie night since 2009 down in San Juan Capistrano, and I only screen Italian comedies with English subtitles. And you get to know some of these actors and their capabilities, and they just seem to get funnier, and they've got nice twists and turns. And the Italian movie night, the first Thursday of every month, sells out, Deborah, because that's how much people, and these people, they don't have to be Italian to come to it. They just seem to be loving Italian films. And
yeah, well, I like to say our families basically are an Italian comedy in a very good way. My husband likes to say that. He's full-blooded Polish, and he married into someone who's completely full-blooded Italian. And to this day, we've been married for quite some time, he'll look out at my family and say, oh my gosh, it's like a comedy every night. So why not produce an Italian comedy and highlight that? In particular for Italian Spotlight, I believe that one is called Mom is Away with the In-Laws. When Mom is Away with the In-Laws. And already it's really been getting a lot of buzz for those who have seen it. So I'm excited about that. Talk to me a little bit about the film night you do in San Juan Capistrano. Is there any way we can get you to come to LA to do one of those, if I can help you with that?
Oh my gosh. Well, the Regency Theater has hosted it, and they unfortunately closed down the San Juan Theater. So we just moved it up to Laguna Niguel.
Okay.
And it was a bigger theater, 30 more seats. It's still sold out. So
wow.
He has more theaters. Well, let's just talk to the president of Regency and see if there's one up near you.
That would be so much fun, because look, come on, people will go. People will go. Present someone with an Italian film particularly in Italian comedy,
Yeah.
you're in. You're
Yeah.
in. I
Yes.
love that. Now, what gave you the idea to do this? What a great
And-
way to bring people together. I love it. Tell me.
Well, my husband and I lived for 20 years in San Juan Capistrano, and in 2007, I was named ambassador to the sister city of San Juan Capistrano, which is Capistrano, Italy. And I wanted to do cultural exchange ideas, and the theater just had opened up, and wouldn't you know it, Deborah, the manager was Italian, and so I asked him, can we do an Italian night? And he said, sure. And then he picked out the films at the start. And the first one was Gomorrah. And I thought, that is the worst movie ever.
Oh,
So
no.
ever since then, I've been selecting the films. They've always been comedies, and they just have done very well to the public that want to see. People want to go to theater to be entertained and to laugh, I think. And so that's what we do once a month. And so I think it's a great idea if you want to host up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I need to partner with you on that just to understand.
I'd pick those films out for you.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. We'll talk about that after. I would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But talk to me a little bit about your, well, you were just talking actually about the award that you were granted, that you are head of the Capistrano, the sister city to that one in Italy. You've also had quite a few other awards. One presented to you from our former Italian consulate here in Los Angeles, Silvia Chiave, and others. Could you talk to us about that? Because that doesn't come easily.
I was so shocked when they said I had received this award, and I didn't really even know what it was. But I was the president Mattarelli from Italy, through Silvia Chiave, had honored me with being called a cavaliere, which is knighted in English.
Wow.
And it's for doing it. It's for going out and promoting Italian culture and language. And I've had a passion for my Italian heritage since I was a very young little girl. And when I was 15, I went to Italy for the first time. And the town that my paternal grandparents were from, it was called Rocca di Mezzo. It's in the Abruzzo region, which happens to be about 15 minutes as the crow flies from Capistrano, Italy.
Wow.
And so it just started all coming together and doing cultural exchange, getting the students in San Juan Capistrano to make rosary beads. And I carried them to Capistrano, Italy, and the Capistrano, Italy little kids painted a roof tile from the home of San Giovanni da Capistrano, that's how San Juan Capistrano got its name, because when Saint Zara founded the mission, he named it after his favorite saint, which was San Giovanni da Capistrano, but it got the Spanish name because it was a Spanish mission. And that is the history in a nutshell.
That's beautiful. What a beautiful, and everything has just sort of continued to flow your way. In fact, it really, really has. And that's a great, great honor. I mean, and you deserve that. That really is a terrific, I can't imagine when, you got a knock on the door and you were told that. It's like, what, you do all this out of your heart. And when people recognize you for that, that really is very special. So congratulations to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Great honor.
Yeah. So NIAF. Talk to us about that. Our dear friend was in charge of that here in Southern California and sadly passed away, Marcella. Yeah. And you've been chosen to sort of be, the face of that organization. And I know that you're trying really hard to make sure that, we remain on the map, because they're primarily out of Washington, D.C., do a lot of terrific work in New York. And we're trying to get them, to join us more out here. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, you're correct. I'm stepping into a woman that had the same passion for her Italian heritage, Marcella Leonetti Tyler, and she unfortunately passed away. And there's not a lot of people out there that are basically promoting Italian culture. I have been for years the area coordinator, so they asked me to step into her big shoes. I have, and I just try to keep promoting the National Italian American Foundation. The beauty of the that NIAF is that they do Italian scholarships for students
Yeah.
to go to and visit Italy, to get their feet on the ground. And it is true that once someone steps onto the peninsula of Italy, they, it's like, it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. So they have a lot of opportunities to travel to Italy, to get scholarships, to do so many amazing things. And that's why I have been a big fan and a supporter of that organization. And you are right. It's based in Washington, D.C. So when we get on calls, I go, yes, it's true. There are Italians in California.
And a lot of us too, I will say,
Yes.
many of us.
Yes.
So thank you for being a representative there too. And anything I can do to help to sort of promote Italians out here, that would be magnificent, because I know that's something they want to do, but it's, you know how it is when you're completely across the country by 3,000 miles, sometimes it takes a little nudge, but the work they do is terrific. And anything we can do and anything you're doing to support is magnificent. I know they have their big event coming up in DC shortly as well, don't they?
Yes, I think it's October 17th. And this year it's the 50th anniversary for NIAF, and they are honoring a Lifetime Achievement Award to Andrea Bocelli.
Oof.
So they honor people with big titles, internationally famous, and also people that have started companies or have made a difference. So yeah, they have the Big Bang is out there on the East Coast. Maybe with your help, we can do that here on the West Coast.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about citizenship. You have your Italian citizenship, correct?
Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate, but the laws recently changed, and so many people that have really dreamt of getting their Italian citizenship have unfortunately lost that opportunity. But getting mine was a big, it's like being called a cavaliere. As getting Italian citizenship was a beautiful thing. And at the time that I got mine, which was almost 20 years ago, I got it through, all of my grandparents were born in Italy. So it wasn't hard for me to follow the path to get it. And I was able to get it for my husband and my children and my nieces and nephews and brothers. So we were fortunate. There's nothing more beautiful than walking through and saying, I've got the European passport.
Yeah.
You kind of put
Yeah.
it. I just came back from Italy 2 days ago, and listen, the line is a lot shorter if you have that red passport.
Oh, I'll bet. And that's been something I will tell you that I have been putting off. All four of my grandparents also were born there. It's a little tricky about, did they denounce, did they not? If they did, when did they do it? But I believe I do have a clear path to getting in. I haven't done it because, you put things off. So people, I'm telling you, don't put it off if you want to get your Italian citizenship. And I'm going to do it. I'm absolutely going to do it. And I need to just sort of focus on it. If I need to hire people to help me, I'll do that too, just to make sure all my paperwork is properly in a row. And once again, Vicky, I'm going to come to you for some guidance for that. You're like guidance for everything, cooking, or parties, film nights. I mean, honestly, you're really incredible.
Oh, well, thank you. You can join my fan club.
Yeah. I love it. I'll be like your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the property that you have in Italy, because I believe that you've got Olive Gardens. You've invited me to move in there, I believe, as well. So talk to me a little bit about your place there. And was this a big dream of yours? When did you decide I'm going to do it? Like, what got you in? Yeah.
I can give my husband credit because he is the one that always comes up with the wacky ideas, and he has had quite a few of them. And he got mad at me, and this like back in 2003, and he goes, "You just poo-poo all my ideas." I go, "Okay, your next one, I'm going to say yes." And guess what? He said, "Let's go buy a villa in Italy." And I said, "I am so in. I am not poo-pooing this idea." And it just so happened, the first place we saw, I turned around when the gate opened and I said, "We're buying this place." And he goes, "You didn't even see inside." I go, I just know this is our paradise. And
it's right here. It was right here, Vicky.
Yeah. And we didn't even know that it had over 400 olive trees. And so we've been making olive oil since 2004.
Wow. Do you sell it or do you just make it and give
No, but
away?
if you attend Italian movie night, you too can win a bottle of olive oil.
Oh, wow.
One of my big things is doing raffles.
How beautiful that you have that. It must be spectacular. If I don't go to Italian movie night the next couple of months, I want some of that Italian olive oil anyway. And how magnificent, how pure, how beautiful. Wow.
It is. It's and our farmhouse is in southern Tuscany. It just so happens we have 5 different varieties of olive trees, and the combination is unbelievable. It comes out like thick syrup. It's green and beautiful, and I definitely owe you a bottle of olive oil.
Yeah, I'll take that. What does that feel like for your children? You have 2 daughters, and I believe, how many grandchildren do you have?
We just had our 3rd little grandson, who was born in Parma, Italy.
Oh,
And his name is Gabriele Reggiani. Well, it's actually Gabriele Michele Reggiani, and he's 3 months old, and he's just so adorable. And I cannot wait, Deborah, for him to go, Nonna, Nonna, che successo? You know, like something, just that little beautiful sing-songing Italian boy voice.
beautiful. But I mean, a way to bring it full circle, right? The grandparents come here. You're absolutely immersed in Italian culture. You have a place there. You're a citizen there. Your children are as well. And now your grandchildren. This is a way to keep our tradition going. I mean, it is a birthright. So hopefully, those who really want to do it will find a way in, because it's important for us. That is the way. And everything you do involving students in all the different, you're involved in festivals, everything. The museum, museum in downtown Los Angeles, magnificent Italian heritage museum we have there. I know that you've had involvement there as well. It all matters, and it all keeps us together.
It
right?
does. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk to me about what's next for you. What do you have up for this particular month in October? A big one for us.
Well, we have Italian movie night in Laguna Niguel. We've got the Italian Spotlight at the Newport Beach Film Festival later in the month. Chapman University, they do an amazing event on, it's Italian Heritage Month, but it's the Christopher Columbus Day. And in the piazza on campus will host a pizza party for all of the students, whether they're in the Italian Studies program or not. So the entire campus will be served on Columbus Day. So that's really fun. And then for me personally, I am finishing writing my book, and hopefully it'll be in print by the end of the month.
Oh, please tell us about that.
It is called Italian Roots: Diaries from a Tuscan Farmhouse. And I started it as journaling to my daughters when they weren't with us at the farmhouse. They were in school or whatever. And I got encouraged by many people to turn it into a book. And so I have. And if unless you journal something, you really don't remember everything. And this has been, as I've gone through it, it's like, what a beautiful, beautiful journey my husband and I and my daughters and now my grandsons have had. And how wonderful, because I have so many cousins in Italy, how I've been able to stay connected physically with them, because we go to their house or they come to the farmhouse and pick olives or just to celebrate life. And so I've been so truly blessed being Italian.
Yeah. And I want to say, for those people who have yet to reach out to find any relatives that they may have in Italy, please do it. I did it some years back. And do you know, every morning they reach out to me with a beautiful buongiorno and a picture. And we stay in touch. And anytime I step foot in Italy, they're my first trip. I go right down there and visit them. They're outside of Naples in the Avellino region, in a very small little area called San Barbato and Montecozari. And both my family is from there. And what a beautiful, absolutely magnificent experience it has been. And I didn't know them when I was a much younger person. I reached out and found all of them after my parents passed away, because it was so difficult for me to lose them that I
Oh,
thought I'm going to reach beyond and see where we're all from. And that was something that I did later in life, and it's become one of the most meaningful parts of my life. So I want to encourage people to do that if you haven't done it yet, right? It's wonderful that you have family there.
you know what? I totally agree with you. When I was
Yeah,
15 and my maternal grandmother took me to Italy, and she made sure that I went to every town that each of my grandparents was born. And when you see where they came from, sometimes you go, at least I did. Why did you leave? This place
yeah.
is
Oh,
so beautiful. It's so wonderful. And so going back to the roots is really an incredible process.
yeah. So that's what's really got you started on this journey.
Yes. That
Yeah,
yes, it is. And I hope that and I think I have. I hope that my passion for my Italian heritage has passed down to my daughters who have now passing it down to their children.
yeah. Beautiful. Did you grow up cooking with mom and dad or Nona? Did you do that?
Yes, I grew up down in the San Fernando Valley, and there were a lot of Italians there in the San Fernando Valley,
Yeah.
and my mom made all the traditional foods from the Abruzzo Molise region, and alongside my grandmothers, and you know what, just like you said, once you lose a parent, it is difficult, and
Yeah.
it's great to have been by my mom's side so that I can pass those traditions down to my daughters and also to my nieces and nephews.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent. Vicky, before we let you go, is there any shout out you want to give to anything that you're doing or anything else about Italian Heritage Month?
You know, if anybody wants to, I don't know how you connect or anything, but I do send out a monthly newsletter that includes Italian clubs, events of that month, and things that are coming to stay connected. It's they can connect with you or whatever. I'm happy to add people to my free newsletter. You can unsubscribe at any time. But I started doing that, and it was really just as one email after another, sending to people, "Hey, Italian movie night," or
Yeah,
an Italian entry in the Swallows Day Parade once a year. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to be involved in Italian heritage and culture. And this is a great month to celebrate all of it.
yeah. Maybe I'll put your email if you want me to in at the bottom of our social media if they want to get in touch with you, or very least they could reach out to you on social media. I believe that you're fairly active there, like on Instagram, right?
Well, not really.
Not really. Okay.
I would
Well,
take an assistant if you had one.
yeah, well, that's what Chapman's for. They've got some pretty great kids who are students who are really looking to sort of be involved in,
Yeah.
some real work. So, maybe something like that can happen. But in the meantime, reach out to Vicky Calabrini. I will put your information on my social. And then, oh gosh, if you get too many emails, oh boy, don't
Hey,
blame
that
me.
would be, listen, if that's the worst that happens in life, Deborah, I'm going to survive.
Yeah, no, you will. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join our show. Just back from Italy. So I know you had a magnificent trip there. And our first guest for Italian Heritage Month.
Oh,
I really, really appreciate it. And everybody, you can find our interview with Vicky Calabrini on Deborah Kobylt Live, the Little Italy podcast and Little Italy of LA podcast. We post them on YouTube, Facebook. We put promos on Instagram about them that'll link you to the show. And then it's also an audio podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcast. You can also listen to us. So please join me in welcoming Vicky Calabrini once again to start off our Italian Heritage Month. And please listen and watch our shows. I appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.